Hi, my name is Tony Craig, and in this video we will be looking at the pre-installation steps and installation of osTicket onto our virtual machine. If you'd like to know more information about installing a virtual machine through Azure, that's the platform we'll be using, you can look at my previous video as we created virtual machines and looked at network traffic and network security groups. That's on YouTube as well. But in this video, we'll be looking at the installation steps for the ticketing system osTicket. So I've created a resource group 1 here and a virtual machine osTicket within our resource group 1. So if I click on that, I can go to the information listed about VM or virtual machine osTicket. And I've already copied this public IP address. So I've copied that, and if you're using Mac, you'll need to use the Microsoft, here it is, Remote Desktop, which I've already set up here and copied over our link to the necessary installation files for the osTicket software. Alright, so I'm going to minimize this here. What we'll need to first do, I can switch back and forth between Azure here, of which we have our virtual machine, and into our virtual machine right here. First steps here are going to be to make sure IIS in Windows, which is right here in our virtual machine, is enabled and installed. So we can go here. I'm just going to go to the control panel. Alright, so we got the control panel. We'll go to programs, turn features on or off. And we want to make sure we look for IIS, which is the Internet Information Services. So make sure that's filled in that box there. Deploy that there, make sure that's filled in. We want to go to World Wide Web Services. Expand that one, make sure all of these are on. Application development features, and this is the one we want right here. CGI. Make sure that is enabled, and then we will click OK, let it do its thing here as it enables CGI with the Internet Information Services. Then after the changes here are applied, we can start downloading the multiple different files that are needed in order to use and utilize osTicket, which is a web-based service. So we'll need to install quite a few things, and it'll take quite a few steps. So just follow along here and bear with me, and we'll see what we can do. So as we wait on this change to be applied, there we go. All finished there. We can start downloading our installation files. So we go over here. I'll expand that for you. The first one we're going to want to do is the PHP manager for IIS. So that'll be here. Click download. Let it do its thing for scanning for viruses. And then it'll take a little bit, as with all of these. So again, like I said, just bear with me. It can be slow at times. Download this. If it doesn't happen in the next few seconds, I'll try again. There we go. Download anyways, that's fine. And we can open that file. And we're just going to follow the instructions here to install it. Okay. So that's that step. Next step is going to be downloading and installing the rewrite module. That's going to be right next to it here. So we'll do the same thing here. again, bear with me. And all of these files will come, and as you'll see, in preparation for downloading the osTicket software. So download anyway. It's downloading there. Almost there. And then once we have this downloaded, we will go to directory and create a folder for PHP. And that's where we will download this zip file into, if this ever downloads for me. There we go. So we got that. Click accept, install, and finish. Alright, so that's 2 down. We'll go first into just browsing here. We want to go to this PC under C drive. So it'll be Windows. Click on that. And then right click, new folder. PHP. So now that we have that, we can minimize that. And we're going to download this one. Same steps here. Again, apologies for the delay here and the slow download speed. There we go. Pops up there. And eventually here, it'll be fully downloaded and we can unzip those files directly into the folder that we just created, the PHP folder down here. There we go. So I'm going to take this folder here, downloads, PHP, extract all, and then browse to the folder that we just created, PHP. Select folder and extract. Copy those 93 items to that new destination, PHP folder under C drive. And you can see they're all there. So let's X out of there, X out of there. We can always go back down here and explore. Now, the next step we come to is downloading this redistribution VC. We'll do that here. Go ahead and get that running the download. And again, bear with me. Again, awaiting that download there. There we go. Pops up here. That was quick. And agree and install. Redistributable. Excuse me, I called it redistribution. So successful. We can close there. And next we can install, download and install this MySQL. So a lot of different steps here of downloading first. Alright, we'll download that there and just follow the steps here. Accept, next. We want to do a typical setup. Launch. And next, we want a standard configuration. MySQL. And the root password is going to be password 1. Password 1. All right. And execute. As it's processing here. We can go. All right. We can click finish. All right, so now we need to look up IIS. So we can go down here and search IIS. And you'll notice in here that this is some of the things that we have installed. Okay, so what we need to do first, I'm going to run as admin, so let me go back here. All right. So running it as an admin. I'm going to browse to the PHP folder here. All right, so that, see the steps here. All right. That looks okay. Let's go back. Okay, so the PHP is not enabled. We need to register a new PHP version to enable PHP via fast CGI. Okay. So let's go to our PHP folder. Down here, CGI. Make sure that this here is selected executable. If it is not, you may not see this file here that we need. So we're going to open that. Okay. And I'm going to go back. Now that that prompt is disappeared, I'm going to stop and start again. Okay. So now that we've stopped and started our IIS, we can make sure that the server is restarted. So that's how you do it right here. Then we can finally start to look into installing osTicket. So how we do that, let's minimize this here. Back to the installation files. Ready for this guy. All right. So we can go to well, if it'll let me go there. Oops, sorry about that. Just a little lag in our virtual machine there. We'll go to downloads. That's osTicket. Let's go to downloads. And let's look into the iNet pub is what we need. iNet pub. www root is what we're looking for. All right, and we'll let that do its thing there as it extracts. Then once that is complete, we can rename the upload to osTicket. Then we'll bring up IIS again and restart. Again, thank you for bearing with me as it can be running a little slow today. All right, looks like we are there. All right. www root and then upload. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's go back here, stop, and start again. Go to sites, default, osTicket. And then looks like we can just click this and looks like all of our steps worked there. Our next steps are making sure these are activated, these features here. So some of these extensions are not enabled, thus the X. So that's going to be the next step. So we need to go back, so we can X out of this for now. Go back to IIS. Oh, here we go. Let's bring this back down here. Go to sites, default, osTicket. And then we'll go to PHP Manager again. Then from here we can click enable or disable an extension. Right here. And we have a few that we want to make sure we enable. So we're going to enable IMAP, PHP INTL, and PHP OPCache. Okay, so let's search for these here. Let's do the IMAP first. There it is. Enable. Then we can do INTL. Here it is. Enable. And then we can do OPCache. Enable. So now that all those are enabled, we can refresh this site here. So we can go back, main page, back to osTicket, browse. All right, and most of those are changed for the ones that we need. Now we need to rename a file, okay? So let's go back to here and our C drive, PHP. Actually, let's go back here, inetpub, www-root, osTicket to include, and we want to look at the sample config. OST sample config, there it is. So all we're going to do here is delete the word sample. So it's just OST config. You just click away from it there. All right. And then for permissions on that file, we'll go back down. We can right click on there. Properties, security, advanced. And then as far as all of these go, we can go disable inheritance. Remove all permissions. Okay. Oh, and let's disable inheritance. Going to put everyone. Creating a new permission here. Everyone has full control. All right. And then we can continue setting up osTicket in the browser. So we can click continue up here. Let me come back here. So osTicket installer, scroll down to the bottom. We'll click continue. Our help desk name will just be 20@helper.com. We'll be fine there. Alright, and we'll do password 1 for both of those. And then now, we need to go back here first. And we will right click here and open the link there. And that'll download Heidi SQL, which is our database client. So we'll make sure we get that installed. Accept. Looks like that should be okay. Installing all files for Heidi SQL. Alright, so we're going to create a new session. Username is root. Password is going to be password 1. osTicket database. Alright, and just double checking everything here. Alright. And let's go back to our osTicket installer. So the database is going to be osTicket. The username is going to be root. And the password will be password 1. Alright, so looks like, okay. So I'm just gonna see if that changes anything. Alright, we're not gonna do that, but now we have completed the installation successfully. And it has installed with no errors, so that's great. We have our own URL here, so we can go down here. Let's open this in a new tab. That's just the support center, looks like. And this is osTicket. So in our next video, we will be looking at how to use this ticketing system, creating users, creating admins, creating tickets, creating Sev A, Sev B, Sev C, and how to prioritize those tickets as they come through. So thanks again for watching this instructional video, and thank you again for your patience. I greatly appreciate it. Take care.